Hello. Hello, Mamata madam. Can we start now? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and good morning. Um, respected chief guest and today's speaker, Dr. Varadagiri, respected principal, Dr. Vidya Gauri Lele, then all science departments teachers, and my dear students. Myself, Chaya Pawar, head of chemistry department. I welcome you all for today's program, which we are celebrating which we are conducting to celebrate National Science Day. Every year we celebrate this day by organizing guest lectures, and we are calling eminent personalities in the field of what science. So I am very happy today that we are with us Dr. Varadagiri, who is a herpetologist and is going to talk on understanding the species diversity, a key for viable conservation actions. Sir, on behalf of CTES, NG Acharya and DK Marathi Colleges, all science departments, I welcome you. And I extend my best wishes for today's program. Thank you. So before leaving, I would say that our principal is little busy. So as and when she will join, she will introduce our college to a speaker. Thank you. Hello, Mamta madam. Hello, Mamata.
Ma'am, just a minute, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. This is myself, Mamta Jadhav from Zoology.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Your voice is not coming. It's not clear. It's very low.
Okay. Now is it clear?
Still it is low.
Okay. Now I will request Dr. Swarnalata Sonatkari madam to introduce our science department. Dr. Swarnalata Sonatkari.
Yes, Mamta. Hello. Mamta, I can see Lele madam joining. Can we request Lele madam first?
Hello.
Ha, madam.
Good morning, everyone. Our principal, Dr. Vidya Gauri Lele, has joined. Now I request Lele madam to please introduce our college to our honorable guest.
Thank you, Mamta madam. Thank you so much. I'm really delighted to welcome all of you on behalf of Chembur Tramba Education Societies, NG Acharya and DK Marathi College on this auspicious day for the science students and the teachers, that is National Science Day. This day is celebrated today to that is show our respect towards Sir C.V. Raman, who was the Nobel Prize winner and was Indian, of course. You all know about his contribution to the science in the form of Raman spectra. Here, now I would like to also welcome our guest speaker today, who has accepted our invitation and is going to bless our students with his speech and going to enrich them on his topic. Sir, I would like to give you a brief introduction of my college. Our college was started in the year 1978, that is 43 years back. Today, we have more than 7,500 students who are studying in 10 undergraduate courses to postgraduate courses. And our college is also home to two research centers. One is in chemistry and the other one is in accountancy. We have, we are again blessed by the having land of 3.06 acres in which our campus is spread over. And we have botanical garden. We have recently, we have started with the project of butterfly and medicinal garden. We have NCC obstacle course, astroturf facility for playing different sports, as well as there is in gymkhana for indoor games. And we have 16 laboratories, sir. 16 laboratories. Out of that, 5 are of computer and the rest are of different subjects. We have life science, botany, zoology, chemistry, physics, and maths. These are the science subjects we have. And we have MSc in chemistry and organic chemistry also. So this is the brief introduction. And I must congratulate my team members who are from science faculty and who have arranged this program of National Science Day. And they have invited you. I'm sure my students will be also will like to learn more about from our speaker. I welcome you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Swarnalata Sonatkari to introduce our science department.
Thank you, Mamta. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to to tell us about our various departments in the Faculty of Science. I begin with the Department of Chemistry. The department was established in the year 1982 to conduct undergraduate courses till BSc. It also has started MSc course in organic chemistry. The department provides state-of-art facilities to students in terms of ample of glassware. It has large chemical and special instruments collection, cordially non-teaching staff. Safety of the department is the priority. Department is concerned about the hazards of chemicals and strictly observes the excessive use of chemicals. It also houses a research center in PhD in chemistry. The Department of Physics was also established in the year 1982. Professor Liaquat Ali is the head of department. The department houses Senior and Junior College of Physics laboratory in an area of 2,700 square feet. The richness of educational level offered at the department is based upon long and distinguished tradition of teaching curricular and extracurricular activities conducted for the students. The Department of Botany and Zoology is established in the year 2010 for undergraduate courses. Every year, our department organizes health-related issues programs like anemia test, BMI test, food eating habits in teenagers for students in the laboratory. Recently, a new course in life science is also introduced from this academic year. The Faculty of Science is always ahead in contributing a major share in many activities of the college. As a sense of social responsibility, we organize a community outreach program, Fascinating World of Science, for our 10th standard students of nearby municipal schools who are deprived of basic science lab facilities in their schools. This is one of our best practice in our college, which we have started in the year 2014. Needless to say, our support staff of Faculty of Science has always been the backbone in conducting all the activities of our departments. We have also been pioneers in conducting national and international conferences, and their success is always lies at the hands of our principal and vice principals. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Swarnalata. Now I request our FY students to speak few words about the National Science Day. Megha Bhujwal. FY student Megha Bhujwal.
Yes, ma'am. Should I start, ma'am? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, a very good morning to our honorable guest, Dr. Varadgiri sir, our principal ma'am, and my dear teachers and all my dear friends. Today, we all have gathered here on the occasion of National Science Day, and I would like to start with a very beautiful saying that the science of today is the technology of tomorrow. Yes, National Science Day is celebrated on 28th February every year across India. So, but why do we celebrate this day? What is the importance of this day? Yes, I am sure that you all must have heard about the celebrated Indian scientist, that is Sir Chandrasekhara Venkat Raman. On this day in 1928, he led a discovery of the scattering of light. After 2 years in 1930, he got the Nobel Prize for his discovery, and this was the first ever Nobel Prize for India in the field of science. When was this day declared as National Science Day? In 1986, the National Council for Science and Technology Communication asked the government of India to designate 20th February as National Science Day, which when the government of India accepted and declared this day as National Science Day. The first National Science Day was celebrated on 20th February 1987. Since we all have heard about the Raman effect, we will have a gist that what is Raman effect exactly. In 1928, that is on February 20th, Sir Raman led an experiment with Indian physicist K.S. Krishnan, in which they discovered the effects of scattering of light on while passing on different materials, which means that there was an exchange in energy and change in light's direction. But friends, why do we celebrate this day? What is the aim of it? Yes, we celebrate this occasion to salute the talent and tenacity of our scientists and also to spread the importance of science in daily life, which has been used in daily life. This creates opportunities for young generations to display their activities, efforts, and achievements which they use in the field of science for human welfare. Also, this day encourage the young people so that they can discuss all the issues related to science and implement new technology for the development of science. At last, I would like to conclude by Sir Louis Pasteur's words that science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity, and also it is a torch which illuminates the world. And thank you and happy National Science Day.
Thank you, Megha, for a wonderful introduction of National Science Day. Now, I will take this privilege to introduce our honorable guest speaker, Dr. Varad Giri. Dr. Varad Giri is well known for the natural conservationist, famous conservationist, as well as he is a herpetologist, where he worked for the many amphibian species as well as so many reptiles he found out. Dr. Giri presently works as a head scientist at Reliance Foundation. He done his post-graduation from Kolhapur University in entomology. He has completed his PhD from North Orissa University, postdoctoral fellowship from National Center for Biological Sciences, Bangalore. He wrote articles for 94 publications, more than 23 books, 50 major research findings. He had worked for many more projects, out of which 5 projects mainly funded by Ministry of Environment of Forest, Government of India, Rufford Small Grants, UK. More than 2 decades, he worked with the iconic Bombay Natural History Society. He joined as a research scientist and going on to be a senior project coordinator. In 2017, Dr. Giri started organization named NIDUS to continue his work to create citizen scientists. He is also affiliated with different organizations as a scientific associate at Natural History Museum, London. He is also associate scientist with Global Wildlife Conservation, advisor at Advisor Natural History for Seaways Wildlife magazine. He is awarded with the SSB International Award by Society of Systematic Biology in 2008. He also won Sanctuary Asia Wildlife Service Award. He was invited by Natural History Museum, London, and worked there for 40 days studying different types of Indian reptiles and amphibians. He recognized as a Sarpamitra, Nisargamitra, out of which here I would like to introduce or give some key or best achievement of Dr. Giri, rediscovery of Jaipur Indian gecko after 135 years, description of a first report of a live-bearing amphibians from Asia, Dr. Giri's outstanding work, which shows he actually got the around 5 species name, out of which one snail, which genus of one snail, that is Varadia, one snake, Dendralaphis giri, 3 lizard named after him. He, he mentioned one one sentence in his interview. I would like to say that sentence. The intention was never to take expert or scientists along, but encourage people with little enthusiasm or interest in the wilderness and ultimately help them to have a deeper understanding of biodiversity. As Sir said, okay, this is very necessary to make people aware about the biodiversity. So I would request Sir to please uh, share your experience of wildlife with our student. So our student will definitely inspired by your work and your achievements. Now over to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Varadgiri, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. So, thank you very much for this short and wonderful explanation. I was really happy to listen to Megha when she was explaining about why Science Days and everything. All these things are being celebrated. Happy to see that. Quite a lot of enthusiasm. Let me. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, today I'm going to talk about a very interesting aspect of science, and that is biodiversity. And I was told that there are students from various facets of science listening to this talk. A few are from chemistry background, few are from mathematics, and so on and so forth. So I'm trying to put forth my views on this particular aspect. And that's why I selected a topic like explore the biodiversity. Now, the question is who can do that? How can we do it? And what is the potential there? What is the future there? And I am from a non scientific background. I'm not doing botany or zoology.
अरे टीचर नहीं है लोग आपने यही का बात दो फिर लाइन बच्चे को चले जाओ अरे कहाँ आ रही है मैं कभी लेक्चर नहीं होगा
I think this kind of disturbance is not advisable. So we are already late by half an hour, and I can't be happy with this kind of disturbance. Sorry for that. Okay, so I'm trying my level best to give you the insights into what things you can do with biodiversity. Now, whatever background you have, forget about botany and zoology. Whatever background you have, you can contribute to science. You can contribute to this field. This is what I would like to tell you here. And if you are in arts faculty, you are commerce faculty, mathematics, anywhere, if you really want to contribute, you have the option here. That's what I want to let you know. Okay, let's begin this journey with the famous quote. It's like I hope we all know about this famous quote by Robert Frost. Now, take a different road, and then you'll get something which is not been explored. So whenever it comes to explorations, don't take the path which has been traveled by many. Try to make a path, and that's where all the treasures are hidden. Okay, I know it is not easy. It is really very difficult. But the people who explored these unknown paths, they only made a difference. And probably there are so many people listening to this talk have that potential, but they don't know which path need to be taken. No? So this is what is the small thing. We'll start with that. So let's look at this now. What is this? Can you imagine? No, this is and with these particular few slides, I am trying to let you know, about what we are. No, we have a tremendous ego. We always feel that we are the intelligent species on Earth, and I'm just trying to let you know what we are. Look at this. This small dot is what is called Earth, and that was the photo. This photo was taken from. No, you see those lines. This is from Saturn. Okay, from Saturn, the Earth looks like this. Imagine what you are there, and this is what is the Earth. Okay, in this Earth, somewhere we are there. Okay, and with that we are trying to say that, or we're trying to explore quite a lot of things. So I wish to let you know that this is what we are. And now why we need to be very happy, because we are part of this planet, which is only the known living planet until now. There are people saying that no, there are other planets where life is there, but we, with surety, we can say that Earth is the only planet where life exists. Okay, means we are really lucky to have no been here. Now, when the life formed, how much time it took to form the life? If you look at this particular figure, it will let you know that it took 4.56 billion years to form what we are today. No, it's a journey of 4.5 billion years. Just imagine 1 million, 1 billion, no, and see it's 4.5 billion years of history where we are standing today. There is a history of 4.5 billion years behind us. And that has resulted into what we see today. Okay. The uniqueness of this planet is the life. There is life on this planet, and this life is composed of something called biodiversity. Have you ever asked this question to yourself? What is biodiversity? Now, we tend to use multiple words. There are multiple things without even understanding its definition. No? So here I'm trying to let you know that biodiversity is much more than what we know. There is too much in the word called biodiversity than we even understood. So that's where I would like to take you. Okay, now biodiversity is nothing but a gamut of unicellular and multicellular organisms. In simple words, I'm trying to put forth. I would like to let you know that biodiversity is nothing but a mixture of animals from single cell to multiple cells. Very simple. It's a very simple definition of biodiversity. Then, second question, what is a cell? See, everything here is really very important. No? So cell is one of the smallest unit capable of performing life functions. Cell has a capacity to perform something called life. A single cell, which is microscopic, you can't see the cell with your naked eyes. But for that, you need to use microscopes and so on and so forth. But that microscopic thing also has units which makes life function. That's why cell is very important. This kind of disturbance is really not good. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry. So this is what is a cell, and cell has all the things, which many people who are into science they know it, and the people who are into arts and commerce they may not be aware of it. But guys, believe me, I am also like that. If you ask me what is there inside the cell, I don't know. because cell has a different thing. You need a different brain, different intellectual capability to understand that. But does that stop me doing what I did? No, nothing like that. I decided to do it, and I did it. So what I would like to put forth here is that, no, if you don't know anything, don't worry about it. What you know, utilize that particular understanding, and you can contribute to science. You can contribute to biodiversity. That's all. That's what I want to tell you. No, see, science is not a game of one subject. Everybody, everywhere, science is there. That's what I want to highlight. Okay, why cell is important now? Because without cell, life is impossible. Now, if you want to see what is life, life is possible only because of the cell. The cell has so many things which are happening inside. That small microscopic unit is like a factory. There are so many interactions which are happening inside these particular things, and those interactions are being studied by many great scientists and institutes in India and abroad. There is just to let you know, there is a organization called National Center for Biological Sciences, NCBS, which is based out of Bangalore, and I have been there. I worked there for around 3 years, and there I realized that there are people who spent their entire life studying these interactions inside the cell. What are these interactions? How people are studying these interactions, how people are decoding these interactions. There, they are utilizing mathematics, they are utilizing statistics, there is a physics, there is chemistry, there is microbiology, there is everything inside the cell. Can you believe me? It is the fact. It is happening there inside the cell. And similarly, it is happening outside as well. So when it comes to biodiversity, people from non-science background, they feel that, no, I can't contribute anything here. But guys, believe me, you can. No, so people who are studying these interactions inside the cell, they are very good mathematicians. There are very good people in statistics. No, all the science is not a standalone entity. Science is integrated. No, there are so many fields. When they come together, you can do wonderful science. So basically, life is biodiversity. No, it's like it is everything. It is very important. No, now I have a simple question to ask: why to explore biodiversity? No, to answer that question, let's ask, or let's try to understand, how does these animals interact? Why these interactions are important? If they stop these interactions, what will happen? We all studied food chain and food web, and there we have given the examples that this animal lives on that and that and that and so on and so forth. But have you ever been a step ahead to understand what are these interactions? I will give you one simple example. There is a honeybee which goes to the flower, collects the nectar. What happens there? She's collecting the nectar to survive. Simultaneously, she is helping the plants to pollinate, seed formation. No? So all these interactions which are happening in the biodiversity are thus really very important. Okay, now how these things are happening? Like how does the bird fly? There is a physics behind it. How does these animals communicate? There is a chemistry behind it. There is a chemical communication. There is acoustic communication. There is a science. There is art. There is everything which is amalgamated here. Now, people from arts background, they will ask me like, how can I contribute? Guys, you understand biodiversity and write this in your own language, in a simple language, so that people can understand. No, there is a social structure. People from sociology can study that. There is a politics which happens among the animals. No, I will give you an example. Like, ants. No, ants live in colonies, and their colonies have a politics happening there. No, so there is a political side. So everything is there inside this particular aspect called biodiversity, and these interactions are really very important. What is happening today? We are not going beyond the identification. There are people who are interested in biodiversity, but what they do, they try to identify certain birds. Like, I'm a bird expert. What is my expertise? I can identify 1,200 birds from India. Does that mean anything? No, that doesn't mean anything. Suppose If I met somebody who will tell me that I only identify 10 birds, but I know how do they breed, where do they breed, how do they communicate, I will call that person as an expert. Guys, so believe me, if you really want to contribute, don't worry about how much you know. Just try to get to the deeper aspects of that knowledge, and that's what is science, basically. Now, why we need to study biodiversity? There is another aspect to it. Without oxygen, is our survival possible? No. Then who gives the oxygen? No, like we are trying to understand the biodiversity because our survival solely depends on them. Our survival solely depends on the biodiversity. Without biodiversity, we can't survive. Similarly, who gives us the food? Also comes from the biodiversity. So all these interactions I was talking about before some time, these interactions led to the formation of oxygen. These interactions led to the formation of food. And that's why understanding those interactions is really crucial and vital for our survival as well. So this is where I want to bring you. Okay, now, third question, how to explore the biodiversity? No, we can explore the biodiversity by interacting with biodiversity. How to interact? Do research. Okay, let's look at what is research now. Research is nothing but a systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. See, establish facts and reach new conclusions. It's really very important because whatever conclusion you have is not the final. No, you are just establishing the facts. So in biodiversity, there is tremendous potential. If you really want to establish certain facts in your respective field, you can utilize biodiversity as one of the study model. If you really want to use mathematics, if you're a mathematician, you can utilize your potentials there to understand, biodiversity. If you are in a different field, you can also do that. So, which are the places where we can conduct research? Let's look at how the biodiversity is organized. No, the biodiversity is organized at multiple levels. To start with, we have seen that there are so many animals. There are so many species. There is a crow, there is a pigeon, there is a dove, there is tiger, there is a lion, there are fishes, and so on and so forth. So what is their makeup? No, so there is a different genetic makeup which is there inside each and every different species there. So there is the diversity happening at genetic level. No, so there is a genetic diversity. Let's go a bit above that. There is a species level diversity. House crow is different and jungle crow is different. Like in monkeys also there are different species. So that is called a species level diversity. And then if you go further up, there is a ecosystem level diversity. Means if you are in a desert, the diversity you get there is different. If you are in a mountain like Himalayas, the diversity is different. You are in the Western Ghats, deep rainforest, the mountain is biodiversity is different there. And the interactions are also different. Means you can utilize your a level of understanding at multiple levels. Like how does a desert animal cope up with the extreme temperature? They must be having certain physical features, or they must be having certain behaviors. And how do they do that? And to achieve that particular thing, they must be utilizing physics, they must be utilizing chemistry, they must be utilizing multiple aspects of science there. Imagine wherever you want to contribute, you have the potential to contribute. Okay, let's see how much biodiversity is known. Interestingly, what we know is just the tip of the iceberg. And what we know is the names. Nothing more than that. I'm coming to that aspect again. So, second question, is this biodiversity evenly distributed? No, it is not. The biodiversity also has a very interesting kind of distribution. No, and then why it is distributed like that also has a reason. No, if you look at the biodiversity in India now, to that matter, if you go to Himalayas, you will not get rich diversity. If you go to desert, the diversity is different. If you come to the Western Ghats, the diversity is different. No, means these animals require a particular thing, and that particular thing decides their presence and absence. Okay, so there is a reason for this distribution as well. So when it comes to Indian biodiversity, we are governed by megafauna or charismatic animals. The little known groups are highly unexplored. Okay, so in India, there is much more than tiger as well. That's what we need to understand. Okay, now why India has such a rich diversity? India is considered as one of the biodiversity rich countries in the world. No, and there are around 3 biodiversity hotspots in India in such a small landscape. Why we have such an amazing diversity? Okay, see again, here comes your geology. No, here comes your geography. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that no, biodiversity is not a standalone subject. It has everything incorporated. Okay, now by 200 million years ago, this was the condition of the earth. No, India was part of Africa, it was part of Gondwana land, and then it started its journey from there, and then finally India reached Asian plate. Then Himalayas formed, and so forth happened. And what we know today is like this. Guys, believe me, when India started its journey from Africa around 166 million years ago, this entire landmass, wherever you are sitting, was wet evergreen forest. And today, India has 10 different biogeographic zones. Means India has different units. This landmass is quite unique in multiple ways, because if you go to Rajasthan, the temperature, humidity, everything is different. If you go to northeastern part of India, it is different. Central India, different. Western Ghats, different. So like that, there are 10 different biogeographic zones, and in every zone, there is a different biodiversity. In all these places, they are interacting differently. Now, understanding these interactions, again, I'm coming back to the same point. Understanding these interactions is science. Talking about them is science. Exploring these possibilities is science. And wherever, in whichever field you are, you can utilize that understanding again. So, this is just about biodiversity of India. I'm not spending time in this, but I would like to take you to a very interesting aspect here. What are the challenges in biodiversity and what are the opportunities? Okay, so how many species? We really don't know. Now, if you ask me how many species of animals and plants are there in India, the answer is we don't know. And when I say we don't know, that's where you have the opportunity. That's where you need to explore the possibilities to understand what are the different species there. Then their habits, means what kind of food they eat, where do they live, when do they breed, do they lay eggs or not, what temperature they need for their incubation, what kind of habitats they like for us, for humans also, we our habitat, like place where we live, we look at all the aspects and then we go and live there. So similarly, animals also have that particular thing, and so that makes their distribution, again I discussed that before some time. So their habits, habitats, and what is happening to them today, for many species, we don't know. And this is what is the problem. This is what is a challenge. But what is an opportunity? Yes, you can contribute to that. No, like study spiders, man. In spiders, you can do multiple things. In insects, you can do multiple things. Like you tell me the name, I will tell you the possibilities. So it is like that. So for many aspects, nothing is known, and your contribution is equally needed in these particular aspects. Okay, if I don't know anything, how am I coming with the dedicated conservation actions? I proudly say that India is biodiversity rich countries in the world, but am I concerned about my biodiversity? I don't feel so. We have taken our biodiversity for granted. Why I am saying this? Because for many species, we don't know anything. In that situation, how can you proudly say that we are part of the biodiversity rich country in the world? There are so many people in this country, but the biodiversity is taken for granted. We are not worried about it. See, here we are not taking the biodiversity for granted. Here we are taking our own survival for granted. We are not worried about own survival. That's what I mean to tell you that. Now, if you really want to contribute, there is a potential. Let's contribute towards that in all the aspects. But how? Let's look at that as well. See, for conservation, we need to know how many species, which species, and all that aspect. And for ecology, we need to know their natural history, distribution, everything, and threats. Let's see that many species in India are not yet explored, not yet described. Think of amphibians and reptiles. In the last 20 years, more than 200 new species have been described. What does that mean? Are they evolved in the last 20 years? No. They were there, but not seen by people or not explored by people scientifically. When people started exploring them, they realized that, oh, this is unexplored animal. So let's describe it. People describe that new species. But the moment you describe it, you are opening one more laboratory. Means if you want to study their life history, there is opportunity. See what is happening. There are 200 new opportunities got open for you people. No, so when people ask me what research can I do, I think you shouldn't be asking that question. Like there are tremendous areas where nothing is known. No, so how many species we don't know. So that is also one area where you can contribute. So to understand that, people are doing taxonomy. So interestingly, in 2017, new genus of a bird got described. What does that indicate? That indicates that this genus was wrongly identified until then. Means science is progressing and we are also understanding our biodiversity. No, so this study confirmed that this particular genus is endemic to the certain sky islands, Shola sky islands in the Western Ghats of India, and that's again highlighted the importance of Western Ghats. No? So this is how these particular discoveries are really very important. Like the day you describe a new species, you are opening one more biggest opportunity to conduct research. No, so a new genus discovery is like that, and there are many species got described in the last 20 years. So these are a few examples. Okay, now second group is phylogeny. Phylogeny is to do with DNA and all that. It's a one step ahead of no. It's molecular biology basically, and there is a quite a lot of work happening in India. No, so all the new species discoveries are rooted from this revised understanding of biodiversity. People are utilizing various aspects to understand the biodiversity now. So, what is needed? For every aspect of biodiversity in India, there is great need of serious research. No, we shouldn't be confining ourselves to a small group. Let's start exploring, that serious explorations to every aspect of biodiversity, starting from smaller insects, invertebrates to mammals. And with that, probably the face of Indian biodiversity will be much different in future. And to do that, what we need? We need dedicated people, dedicated students like you. And for you, if you are, you see, wherever you are, if you really want to contribute, you can. Okay, natural history is something which is, I feel that is a dying science today. What is natural history? Natural history is the moment you see a bird, think of Dr. Salim Ali. Read his notes, and look at the way he studied those birds. He spent hours observing their behavior, and that aspect is dying today. Everybody is interested in doing some hyphen to science, and we are forgetting the natural history. See, if you have a natural history understanding, you can utilize that for doing multiple things. Okay, for example, this is the breeding behavior of a frog. We did this paper in 2000. I don't remember the year, but I was one of the authors in the paper. Okay, here these frogs have a very unique breeding behavior. No, the males do call, but they have a unique place. Once the male select a space, he remains on that place for 1 or 2 months. He visits that place every day, every night. Sorry. So how does he do that? I feel that there is some chemical secretion which is used to identify his face. Means there is a chemical science here, chemical communication. Again, chemical communication is one more aspect where no tremendous work need to be done. There are many examples in biodiversity where chemical communication studies can be done. So now here, don't you feel that there is a chemistry involved? Yes, there is a chemistry involved. So imagine a person who is having a strong understanding of biodiversity or strong understanding of zoology, and a person with equal amount of understanding in chemistry. If they both come together, think of the results. The results will be highly phenomenal. And that's what I would like to let you know, that science is not a stand-alone entity. It is not a standalone entity. It has to get amalgamated with multiple facets, multiple groups, and then you can contribute quite nicely. Interestingly, there are so many natural history mysteries which are happening here in the biodiversity. For example, look at this figure. There is a female which is holding the prey. No, there is a grasshopper she caught, and the male is mating with her. If the male tries to mate this female spider when she is not busy eating, probably she will eat this male as well. No, here there is a quite lot of psychology which is happening. Like male knows that now female is busy, I have to go and mate with her. So these naturalist studies would are so fascinating. You know, here if you want to utilize multiple facets like physics, you can utilize it. You know, chemistry, you can do that. Everything is here. This is a very interesting paper published by one of my good friend called R. Chaitanya recently. Now, so there is a lizard called a Draco, or a flying lizard, and they glide in the air to move from one tree to another tree. And they are known from the Western Ghats. And in the Western Ghats, they suddenly the distribution stops near Goa. After Goa, you don't see them. They are not there in Maharashtra. Forest is contiguous, everything is contiguous. But what stopped them in coming to the Maharashtra part of the Western Ghats? The answer was not answered until now. On 14th August 2021, Chaitanya published this paper, and his study said that the height of the tree is responsible for this abrupt distribution. Interesting. Like you may not understand that, but these animals do. No, so that's what is fascinating for me. And there are many animals where this kind of understanding has not been there. Now, where can we do research? I think everywhere, in your background, in your house, in your study room, wherever you are sitting, if the animal is there, you can do research there. It's very simple. No, but the crucial factor which is needed here, the vital factor which is needed here, is asking the right question. No, we need to ask the right question, and then, believe me, sky is the limit. Look at this particular picture. Here, there are 4 to 5 different species of birds here. In such a small area, they are feeding. There is no competition happening. There is no struggle happening, and everybody is feeding happily. Why? Look at the style. Look at the place where they are staying. Look at the way they are feeding. Everybody has a different feeding strategy. Everybody's beak size is different. Their leg size is different. Their colorations are different. Everything is different. There is a diversity in their body forms. And this diversity is a derivative of what they need to do. Like if they want to feed on certain things, they got that kind of body feature. Now, how did they know that? There is a physics behind it. If they want to catch a big fish, they need a big beak, something like that. So interestingly, it's like that's where I would like to bring your attention. No, you need to ask a question like, why do they have it? Why these birds are white in color? Why the wings are black in color? Why the legs are black in color? For everything, there is a reason. And exploring these reasons is what science is. And that's what fascinates me. And that that has fascinated many people who are contributing to science today. And we need many more people in India to understand this. Also, we need your contributions in awareness areas as well when it comes to biodiversity, because biodiversity is very wrongly predicted. No, nowadays WhatsApp University keeps on spreading unwanted things. So as a responsible citizen of India, we should not be doing it. Social media is one more place where you can utilize your potentials to talk about science, to contribute to science. No, like no, there is something called citizen science now. People are collecting, uploading their observations, and that data has been utilized for science. Now coming back to a last aspect of this talk, who can do research? There are many students. Now the students will tell that, will ask this question: Can students do research? Yes, students can. I was a student at one point of time. Now look at Akshay Khandekar. He's one young, dynamic herpetologist in India. Now he started his work as a student, and today he is one of the prominent figures in this field. Similar is true with Dr. Ishan Agarwal, who is doing terrific work on Indian reptiles. No, yes, students can do that. If you are really interested, and no, in whatever standard you are studying, that is not a problem. But if you really want to contribute, you can. Does your education background matters? If you feel that I am from a IT background, and how can I do science? Look at this man. His name is R. Chaitanya. He was an IT professional till 2014, and today he is one of the best herpetologists in India. I will say that he is better than me. No, he only decided that I want to contribute, and he started doing it, and today he's the best in this field. No, so your education background is also not, no, is not a hurdle. Okay, is your professional background a hurdle? You may say that no, I have a different profession. Can I do science? Yes, you can do science. Look at this guy. His name is Hemant Togle. He runs a resort in Amboli. There's a place called Amboli. Sorry guys, this song is quite irritating. Kasri wali gadi, sorry. So his name is Hemant Ogle. So he is a mechanical engineer by training, and he runs a resort in Amboli. Nothing to do with science. But if you really want to know what he contributed, look at his book called Butterflies of the Western Ghats. One of the best books on butterflies written on Indian butterflies, and it has everything. So he has contributed to science. No, so, and how dedication can help you. No, this is my friend called Amut Samroy. I know him as a student from his BSc, and he was dedicated, very much interested, and today he's doing his PhD in University of Minnesota. No, like dedication can take you to any level. No, if you really want to contribute, really want to do science, I think all these things are very much needed. And does age is a restriction? I don't feel so. If you really want to start science today, research today, you can do it. And this is my inspiration, Dr. H.V. Ghate. He's a retired professor from Modern College in Pune. And in a small space, no, I don't feel that no, that should be called as a laboratory. But from that space, what he contributed to science is phenomenal. The amount of papers he published and amount of students he trained is beyond our imagination. No? So like, if you are dedicated, if you really want to contribute, nothing should stop you, nothing can stop you. Okay, so if you do this, what will you get? No, you get the popularity. You will get popular. No, there are newspaper articles and this and that will come on you. Then, no, like for me, I got immortality. Is like there are one genus and four species of lizards named after me by different scientists. What does that mean? That makes me immortal. When I started my career, I never had a dream. I always had a dream of describing one species. But the dedication, whatever various aspects I told you, like a bit about me. I am from a small village in on the border of Karnataka and Maharashtra. No education background, no very strong education background, no family background of research, nothing, no science. In my village, if you go today and ask science, people may not understand it. But I did it only because of sheer passion. No, and I always take this opportunity to tell everyone here that if you really want, you can contribute. There is no dearth of opportunities here. No, this is a quote very close to all of you. No, I think you all must have seen Three Idiots. No, this is something really very important, and I strongly believe in that. No, if you काबिल बनेंगे तो कामयाबी आपकी पीछे आ जाएगी. Very simple. Okay, so now believe me, there is a tremendous scope. Wherever you are, whatever you are studying, if you really want to contribute, yes, there is a scope. What is needed is ask right questions. This is what I would like to emphasize to everyone here, that science is derived based out of asking right questions. Now you'll ask me, is there any wrong question? No. Wrong question is not there. Every question is a right question. Just ask it. Make a habit of asking questions. Unfortunately, our education system doesn't allow us to do that. No, we are never trained to ask questions. Guys, I'm using a wrong platform. I'm talking to college students and saying that education system is wrong. But believe me, that is the fact. No, the thing is, we should be encouraging students to ask questions. We don't do that. No, so let start asking questions. Secondly, Indian biodiversity is highly unexplored. If you really want to contribute to science, plan your research. There is a tremendous potential. There is a tremendous opportunity. Okay, I will fail in my duties if I don't acknowledge Acharya and Marathi College for this opportunity. Thank you very much, Zalo Madam and Lele Madam, for the invitation. Thank you all for your patience. No? And I would also like to thank my very good friend Ghodke sir. He's a librarian, Mangesh Ghodke. I think we both shared a very wonderful time together in BNHS. He knows about me. Like when I started my early days with BNHS, he was the one who knew me, and today we are still good friends. So thank you, Mangesh, for this lead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful session. I actually having one question. Dr. Giri sir, I would like to hear one thing from you. How you any one species which you have discovered, will just want your experience. How you found out, and what was the experience? Means accidentally you got those species, or that just experience you can share with us. So will actually it's little enthusiastic to hear the experience of the people who found out something, so
Yeah.
that
See, ma'am, yeah. Science is nothing but enthusiasm. No, it's like we need to be very enthusiastic. Basically, for a scientist, the basic criteria which is needed is we need to be very enthusiastic. We need to be asking questions. You need to be inquisitive. You should be like a kid. Kids have so many questions. So when I started my career, the first word I heard in my life called herpetology, when I gave my interview to BNHS. They asked me like, we are appointing you as a research assistant in herpetology section. I said, yes, yes. I came out of the interview and asked people like, what is herpetology? No, that's where I started. And today, whatever contributions I did, that was the day when I started my journey. So when we used to go out, be like a kid, start exploring, get as much as information. So we come across one earthworm like animal, and I came to know that it is a Sicilian. But when I came back, I had a habit because I had mentors like Ashok Captain, who taught me that, Varan, don't believe in anything until you get convinced. So he asked me to get the data. I took all the data, all the information. No, I took the photographs and made a nice note and sent that note to the authorities who were in Natural History Museum London. I sent them an email saying that this is what I've seen. And they got excited. They said, Bharat, this is something very interesting. We are coming back to India. And I'm talking about around 2000, 2001, that time when internet was just started. Okay. So they came back. And they said, oh, this is a new species. And we worked on it and we described it. So what happened there is, if you see something, don't give the name. Ask questions like, why is that? And that probably led to quite a lot of new discoveries. And what I did after that, I started asking questions every time. If I see a cobra, I will say that why it is a cobra, like that. Then, whoever I interacted with, I encouraged them to do the same thing. So there are many people who I will not call that I trained them, but I tried my level best, to inculcate this particular passion in this way, so that people can look at science in that direction, basically. And there are many students who describe new species with us, and they are also equally enthusiastic. And yeah, enthusiasm is the key.
Okay, sir. Any students, if you have any question, you can put your question in the.
Madam, can I ask?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Varadgiri. He's my very good friend. We started our career I think around 20 years back, 22 years back in BNHS. I was a librarian over there, and he's a research scientist at that point of time. One observation, or you can say one learning we had got from the BNHS, which I would like to explore more. I mean, I would like to request Varad to tell this one. The interesting fact was like a male and female. The species, various species, biodiversity, if you look at it, the males are quite attractive, quite, should be attract the females. That's the law, I would say, nature law. But here in humans, it's opposite. I hope you understand, Varad. Can you just give some light on that? Because we have seen those various species where the male's supposed to be attractive, they're supposed to pursue, and these things are there in the tribals also. But as a city person, we do not know these kind of things are there in the nature. Can you just explore that?
See, basically, there is something called sexual selection, in biodiversity. So if that selection is governed by the aesthetic values, the beauty, then they have to do it. For example, now somebody has written here peacocks. Yes, no, peacocks are quite dynamic. No, they have a very long tail. Do you know that tail is only there for during the period of during the breeding season only? After that, they shed that tail, because having that burden is not a small thing. Carrying that big load is not a small thing. So what does that male tells the female? That I'm carrying that burden only for you. I'm having that burden, no, that big burden only for you. That is one example. Secondly, I'll tell you, there is something called red color now. No, very rarely you see red colors in birds. No, but there are some birds like red abedwad or red munia, where the males are highly red in color. They are also called as strawberry finch. Okay, now having red color is like showing that I'm here, showing your presence. Means you are open for predation as well. But what that male does, see, I am here to show my presence. Although I am, मुझे लोग मारेंगे, फिर भी मैं लाल बन के इधर खड़ा हूं. तो that shows the strength, the vitality. Okay, and that's where the females get attracted. And in biodiversity, in science, in nature, all the animals are like that. No, so when the thing is under sexual selection, they have to do that. Otherwise, you will not get selected. But unfortunately, in humans, our selection pressure is entirely different. Like आप वेस्टर्न लाइन पे रहते हो या सेंट्रल लाइन पे रहते हो, उसके ऊपर हमारा सिलेक्शन प्रेशर डिसाइड होता है. हमारे इधर भी मंगेश, we have a selection pressure, but it is of a different kind. No, like here, rather than beauty, other things are taken into consideration.
No, that is one thing. Yeah, and I was asking in the sense like the domination. For example, in humans, males are dominated to select ladies, or you can say women. But in species, it's like a female is had a dominance to select a male.
That is not always true. That is not always true.
Okay.
That is not always true. It's not like that. No. So see, in males also, males have to be very strong.
Yeah.
No, so they have to fight. They have to maintain their territories and all those things. No, like in frogs, for example, bullfrogs are biggest frogs in India. No, so their breeding happens for only 1 day or 2 days. Okay, the
Okay.
females don't have any choice. The males also don't have any choice. The female comes into that group, the male goes and grabs her like that. So it's not about strength. It's not about no. It is mixture of things. No, so every
Yeah.
female has its own choice, has her own choice, and she selects the male accordingly.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. That's what.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Thanks.
Most of them.
Yes.
Very nicely explained, sir. I think no questions. I think we'll sir, wind up. If any teacher is having any query, you can put in the message or you can ask queries. Yes, anyone?
I think no question indicates that the talk was excellent or it was boring. So I'll take it otherwise. Yeah.
Video which you that was mesmerizing actually.
Thank you
First time,
very much, ma'am.
and that was very means we can see all the axolotl larva since it has developed into the frog. So that was wonderful, and that all the
Thank
pictures which you showed specifically uh, describing some features of those species, that was actually impressed the people, and because of that only people get attracted towards the or they can become a
you.
or they
No,
can
the
attract.
problem of yeah, the problem of science is not been discussed in a dramatic way.
Yes,
Science is discussed in a very complicated way so that people feel that hey, this is not my cup of tea. Many people don't come to zoology because they feel that the scientific names are quite bad and they're like difficult to remember. But no, it's not like that. Basically, it's passion. No, it's everything. Is see the problem of science is scientists. No, they never described science in a way like I love the way David Attenborough describes the things. It's like he makes it so simple, so lucid, so nice. No, and that's what is not happening. And I think there is a high time we need to be thinking like that. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
scientists, that concept were very easy for the people, so they get at what we can say, they get very exposure to the non-scientific background. People can also work under you, that is need use.
No, nothing. See, nothing under me, ma'am. It's like, see, basically, I'm not an intelligent guy. I got 48% in 10th and 50% in 12th. My IQ level is very low. No, I'm worst in mathematics. I can't understand. So this is what is the fact. But what makes me running was the zeal to understand the biodiversity in whatever way I can. And today also, that is keeping me on my toes. No, that's what makes the researcher a different person. That's all. No.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request our professor Karishma Khare to please give vote of thanks. Karishma madam.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible? Yeah. A very good morning to you all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all the dignitaries assembled here. I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Varad Giri, a well-known herpetologist, who honored this function with his inspirational and scientific thoughts. Sir specified that biodiversity is not a lone subject. It is a contribution of all the subjects. So informed us about the challenges and opportunities in Indian biodiversity. So clear the concept that people from every field can contribute to biodiversity. For that purpose, we don't need to be a science student. He even specified this by giving us an example of his known student, R. Chaitanya, who was an IT professional, but now is in field of this science and is a well-known herpetologist. He even gave us an example of Hemant Ogle, who runs a resort, but now is an expertise in butterfly. Sir, yes, you said it very well कि काबिल बनो तो कामयाबी तुम्हारे पीछे आएगी. Thank you, sir. Your thoughts and your values really fascinated us. Now, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Vidya Gauri Lele Madam, all the respective staff members, students, participants, volunteers, and last but not the least, our beloved audience for making this function a grand success. Once again, I thank you and all present here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you everyone for joining. Feedback from students, please wait for a few minutes. I'm sending a link, feedback link. एक minute. Students, please fill the feedback forms and then you can leave. Okay. Thank you. Student, I will send the link, okay, on your group, WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm ending the meeting. And you
Okay,
all
ma'am, sure.
lectures, practical, 11:50 का lecture practical सब कुछ होगा. Okay, bye.